Hey, so I forgot to give you guys an update. You know, I went to visit Kirby Sage, baby.
Like, we're going to be going to YouTube and doing a stream in a second. So, like, a bunch of those people are probably in the chats right now. Goose gang in the house.
That's right.
Gang in the house. Gang in the house. Gang in the house. Gang in the house. Gang in the house.
Baby.
Gang in the house. Gang in the house.
Kirby Sage, baby. Yes.
Gang in the house.
Kirby Sage, baby. Yes.
Gang in the house.
Right here. You guys are in the house now. Baby. 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 Yeah. I didn't know they were here, bro. Nice.
Gang in the house.
Baby. Yeah. Big brains, the IQ, probably the average IQ of the DeFi Kingdoms team. Here's what I had to say to them about it. Baby, visit Kirby Sage. Yeah.
Kirby Sage, baby. Yes. Kirby Sage, baby. Yes.
Gang in the house. Gang in the house. Gang in the house. Gang in the house. Gang in the house.
Let's go. We got bowling, baby. We got Dreamer, baby. Bowling's, you know, kind of sitting on the floorboard there. We got Sun Bear, baby. We got Dragon T, baby. Risen. Nobody cares about baby. Yes. I love you. Baby. Yes. Baby. Yes. I love you. Baby. Yes. DeFi Kingdoms, baby. DeFi Kingdoms for beginners. Do you not know anything about crypto? I got you. DeFi, decentralized finance. You got kids, you got a wife. DeFi Kingdoms, billions of dollars with Hero. Yes, baby, right. Amazing. GQ bot, he does. Yes. Even though there's no right or wrong way. Wonder where I'm at? Yes. Once upon a time, in the not too distant past. Baby. Yes. Baby. Yes. I love you. Baby. Yes. Yeah. Baby. Let's go. We got Crypto Clay in the house, baby. I love it. Okay, this man, I just found out. He knows Flu. I just had Flu on last week. Be sure to catch these. These guys are awesome. I didn't even know they had any connection at all. This guy is also, he plays little DeFi Kingdoms. He said he's about to do a summon here soon. He also was an initial seed investor in Dragon's Crossing, baby. I love it. How are you today, Crypto Clay?
Man, I'm doing awesome. I'm happy to be here.
I love it, man. Okay, so we're going to do a Dragon's Crossing whitelist giveaway by the end of this stream.
Awesome.
So yes, and this man's going to be able to do his own giveaways on his stream as well. I'm so pumped. Okay, so what was your initial vision? How did you get How did you get tied in with Dragon's Crossing? How well do you know those guys? I know you mentioned Flu was part of that too. Connection you brought in. And how long has your YouTube channel been going? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Love you, man. Yes.
Yeah, so I met Flu probably 2 years ago, or it was probably like a year and a half ago in crypto, and like we met because of the DeFi Kingdoms connection. Like I've
Okay.
been involved in Harmony for a few years now, and Flu was very early into DeFi Kingdoms and was a part of that team where he did marketing for DeFi Kingdoms
Yep.
very early on.
Yep.
And so our connections with Harmony, we
Yeah.
met, and we kind of have similar personalities.
Okay.
So it was, we clicked pretty early on. Anyways, he told me about this project that was coming out, and he said, Clay, like, look, this is different because this is not just another DEX that's coming out. They're actually wanting to build a game, and they're going to take the seed money of all of the investors and come straight out with a game. And so if you're interested, because I had put a video out right before that, right before he came to me, saying the problem with GameFi right now is that it's not fun. Like, we need an actual game with gameplay to make GameFi a reality. The problem with a lot of these projects out there is that they're very boring and monotonous, and the only reason people play them is for the speculative reasons. They
Right.
think that they're going to make a return off of it. Now,
Yeah.
we're finally starting to see things like DeFi Kingdoms that are, coming out with gameplay, which is awesome to see, incredibly awesome to see. But before that, we didn't have anything. And so these guys all grouped up together, the punch guys, they all have the punch names. They banded together as a group of friends, and they said, we want to make a fun game for gamers. Like, this isn't a crypto project. This is a gaming project that involves crypto. And I love that.
Yes, I love it. Right. And so I know, and it's so hard for a project to get going and do this. They don't have the funds. They don't, or it's a VC rug pull so often with shady tokenomics. People get in with at a tiny little percentage of what the real gamers and the real people who are wanting to play the game can even access it at. And so there's just all kinds of issues that we've already seen already so soon with GameFi crypto. And so I think what the punches are trying to do, that this is like Baby Punch's or Bloater Punch's vision, is he just wanted to have an awesome, fun game, not rocket science game necessarily, but a fun, somewhat addictive even game with good, legit, awesome tokenomics and a fair, fair playing field for all. That's like his thing. He's so hardcore about it. I love it. And so, okay. So your channel, I remember like years ago, I think, or a long time ago, watching you. And then, I follow so many YouTubers. It's like the YouTube algorithm. If I don't, it's like, it doesn't, there's so many people that I forgot even existed from years past. And recently you've been putting out some videos. I love it. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember this guy. And, you'll do these videos sitting out like outside your house here or somewhere.
Yeah.
These short videos. Tell me, how long have you been going? How long has this YouTube channel been going?
So I've been involved in crypto since 2012. Bitcoin was my first love. But I didn't end up making a channel until 2017. And I started hitting it pretty hard in 2017, doing a lot of educational videos, actually, where I, told people about how to get into crypto, how to start trading crypto, because that was the first boom for crypto. Well, 2013, and the run up on Mount Gox, like, I think that was the first time Bitcoin ever hit $1,000, was at the end of 2013. But
And then it crashed
2017.
down hard. I mean,
Yeah, it went
didn't
it
go
went
back-
down. Yeah, it went below $200 after that. And so that was a good time for me because I started loading up on Bitcoin at that time. But it was a scary time as well because Mt. Gox was really the only crypto exchange available to people.
Right.
And so I remember back then people were literally buying and selling like fractions of a Bitcoin on eBay. And
Yeah.
that is now illegal, very illegal.
Okay.
But anyways, 2017 felt like the real first bull market to me because a lot of players that had never touched it started getting into the game. And so I wanted to start creating content that kind of helped people that were brand new getting into it, telling people, look, hey, there are these things called hardware wallets that you should definitely be using if you own more than $100 worth of cryptocurrencies. So I made the channel to teach people how to build mining rigs if they wanted to mine at home, telling people like scams to stay away from. I was one of the very first people to call out BitConnect as a scam. And back then, a lot of people like thought that I was crazy for calling it out as a scam. And then eventually it went under. So I've gotten a lot of hate in the past, and a lot of people like were huge cyber bullies, like about I mean, you know how people can be in the crypto industry when it comes to their cults, right? Like, and so
Absolutely.
I stop every now and then from making videos, but then every now and then I get back into it because it's just a passion of mine, like making content, telling people about some of my ideas and like where my head's at. It helps me kind of collect some of my own thoughts. You know, they say that you learn a lot more by teaching, and that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
I've learned the most in crypto by trying to teach others. So
Yeah, I love it. I'm the same way. I'm totally the same way there. So, man, I love this. I'm going to dive in here, and I'm just going to breeze through a bunch of these from past. You got quite a few, and they're real short. They're often just real short videos here that, not unlike me, where it's like, you realize I hope you told your wife it's a minimum of 5 hours.
Well, then, hey, we'll be able to summon those heroes on DFK because I think my Gen Zeros are up for summoning in like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, Clay called Harmony a scam, and I did not listen. What a dumbass I was! Wow,
I didn't call. Okay,
yeah?
okay, I did not call Harmony a scam.
Okay.
I made a video talking about why I was leaving the Harmony ecosystem, and it had nothing to do with the blockchain itself. It had everything to do with the leadership that was involved in the Harmony blockchain. And honestly, a lot of the people that I had a problem with actually ended up leaving.
Right.
So, there are still people at the very top that I am not very fond of, but the fact that the people that I had a problem with the most are gone kind of helps Harmony grow, in my opinion. But we'll see.
The guy at the very top, I don't even know his name.
Steven C.
Yeah. I think he's the one that a lot of people had issues with that I know, like Ogre and just a lot of the people around.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And he's still there. He's still at the top. Okay.
Yeah. Him and Lee are like the two top dogs at Harmony, and they refuse to relinquish that duty to anybody else and give it up because they're very power hungry. And to be fair, Harmony is their baby, right?
Right.
Like they founded that project and they don't want to let go of it. But they might be hurting themselves more by not relinquishing those positions, but we'll see. The thing about crypto that I find so fascinating is how quickly people forget things, right? By the next bull cycle, nobody is going to remember what happened in the previous cycle,
which is crazy.
And so there's going to be plenty of money to be made.
That's crazy. You even mentioned something about the Thera. What's going on there? What's going on with the Thera?
Yeah, so I have been involved in that project since day one as well. And honestly, I love Defira. I love the team behind it. I just wish that they would communicate more often with their community. But honestly, if they get Trank version 2 out, which they said is going to be out before the end of the year, then that could kickstart DeFi back on the Harmony blockchain. And that will be a really huge thing for the blockchain itself, because right now there's hardly any liquidity on the Harmony blockchain.
Right.
And so they need a solid DeFi project that is willing to step up and take that plunge.
Yeah, the fear. So I kind of thought it was dead, but I know it moved to the
Chronos.
Chronos blockchain. Yes.
Yeah. They didn't move. They're just cross-chain.
Cross-chain.
So they're still, I think the main game is still on Harmony, but they cloned it and bridged to Chronos as well. So the game is technically on both blockchains.
Okay. Got it. And it's still going. I heard that didn't the Gen Zeros get down to like $3 or $2 or something?
I don't think they were ever that cheap.
Okay.
I think they're I mean, let's see. I can pull it up real quick.
Here you can hit present at the bottom of your screen and you can share and leave it shared, and I can remove and add your screen back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Buy heroes. Let's see.
OX Wowie, baby. Wowie's got a Gen Zero, Defira Gen Zero. I almost got one. And ironically, you told me that, and I had just sold some of my Fira tokens that are coming free. Okay, here's your screen. Go ahead.
All right. Let's see. Right. Filter Gen Zero. So the cheapest one is 1,600 Fira. Or no, I'm sorry, that's not the cheapest. Low to high.
Okay.
2,600 Fira, and I think Fira is worth like 3 cents right now.
So that times 0.03. So we're talking $78. Okay.
Okay. So that's the cheapest Gen Zero that you can buy right now. And honestly, Fira hasn't ever been cheaper than it is right now.
Right. So if the game survives, and maybe, so you like the team. Tell me more about the team. I remember I just didn't like the vibes, some of the vibes I got from the team. And that's why I didn't end up buying a Gen Zero. But I never thought they were bad or anything. It just, tell me more about the team, your thoughts. I haven't dug deep enough to really know, but.
So they're actually working on a physical game as well. And they were the first ones to build a money market on Harmony. Tranquil Finance is their money market.
Right.
And there is so much money to be made in DeFi protocols like that when we talk about lending in a decentralized finance way, right? There are plenty of examples on the Ethereum blockchain to back that up. And if there was one on Harmony, a blockchain that is so much cheaper and faster than 90% of these other blockchains out there, and that was kickstarted back up again, I think that it would do extremely well.
Okay.
And on top of that, like I said, they're building a game as well. They're trying to take the heroes that people already own and turn a game into, or use those assets in the game that they're building. They put out a tweet, I think a month ago, showing off some of that artwork and some of the game design itself. And like I said, they don't communicate very well as a development team, but I think their goal here is to under promise and over deliver.
Okay.
Is the approach that they're taking.
Right.
And honestly, I think that by doing that, if they release a game, awesome. If they release the money market again, amazing. Because nobody else is doing it on Harmony right now.
Okay. And you're still kind of a Harmony fan. You're hoping that.
I love the blockchain.
Okay.
So I have to say, when I got into Harmony, it was dead silent. Nobody was building on Harmony whenever I got into Harmony.
Wow.
And the thing is like they were heads down, always engineering the best possible blockchain available to the public. Yeah. And they didn't care that they didn't have any partnerships at that time. They were just solely focused on building an incredible blockchain experience. And they did that. I mean, they still have one of the fastest and cheapest chains out there.
Right. They do. And it's working okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and now we have cross shards. So that opens up the door for so much more to happen on chain because builders can come in and build on whatever shard they want.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Have you heard of this new project, Mind Games? Is that anything you've messed with at all?
I actually was trying to read about that the other day. Is it okay? I might be completely off here, but is it similar to like Steam, but for the blockchain? Like, is it like a game launcher?
It's it's not. It's almost a copycat of DeFi Kingdoms. I mean, not totally, but it's super similar and it's brand new. It's just starting to get going. I think they've got their beta testing going for the game, which anybody can request right now. So they reached out. I'm trying to get them on the channel, but Flu's helping them. A lot of people, you know, I've heard a lot of people say it's probably going nowhere, but Flu's a part of it. And there's people like Bartertown and some different people that are kind of bullish about it. So still, I'm interested. I got a few Gen Zeros. They're pretty cheap there too. And so I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see, but no worries. Okay. So DeFi Kingdoms, tell me more. You've got a summon to do here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of Gen Zeros that I summon on cooldown basically with.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to create a summoner. I'm trying to create a mythic summoner. And the other day, I actually created a mythic Gen 1 priest out of it. And it's a priest. So it has that extra role on it that I think is going to really help when PvP launches. So I'm pretty excited about that Gen 1 that I summoned the other day.
I love it. Yeah. So Wowie, who's in the chat, I don't know have you heard of Wowie? OX Wowie. Man, he's like the combat guru. Putting a spreadsheet together on good builds, class, subclass, all these different things. OX Wowie. That's definitely one you want to follow on Twitter. And he's got a Twitch and a YouTube channel now that he's got going too. I get them on the channel sometimes and we talk about, it just hasn't happened yet. I want to get Effects and Wowie back on the channel to talk more strategy on how to best level our heroes for combat. Okay, now that more alpha keeps coming out from Workhorse, you know who Workhorse is?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Developing the game. Phenomenal dev. Real deal. So lots going on with DeFi Kingdoms. What do you think of DeFi Kingdoms' future? Where do you think that's going?
So I was really excited when I heard the news that they had brought in an actual game development studio. Because like you have a team that literally builds games for a living. Like that's what they do. So that was really cool to see because they basically said, look, we are committed to keeping the DeFi aspects of this alive, but we also want to do what we promised in building a fun, entertaining game.
Right.
And so they brought in this other team. They hired this other team to come in and help them along the way. And
Right.
so I think that the expertise was warranted. And I'm really excited to see what happens with the new combat system. I'm also excited to, like, you were talking about pets the other night on your live stream. I'm really excited to see what they do with that as well, because I think that if, like you were saying, if these pets can help our heroes in their questing and they create them, you know, if they're very influential, right?
Yes.
Then I think that it's going to be well worth spending the money on either eggs or like buying heroes that will help you find eggs in questing. It's all going to come back full circle. So
that's right. Because we have, for example, 110-ish thousand gardeners, okay, in existence in the game, okay, and 45,000 green eggs.
Wow.
So there's not enough pets. You know, even if we hatched every single green egg, we're at less than half. So if pets turn out being valuable and wanted and needed, which I think they will be, I even think the common 1-star pets will be good, but most people disagree. Like a lot of people disagree with that. A lot of people think that the 1-star common pets won't be super worth having. What do you think there? Do you know how much on that? Do you know?
I honestly don't know anything about the pets. It's kind of like a mystery at this point.
Okay. So they have 1-star questing bonuses at a minimum. So every pet has at least a 1-star questing bonus, no matter the rarity. Okay, and that will give in about a 17.5 to 22.5% boost in the items that they're getting, that the hero's getting on a quest. Plus, there's probably a little bit more of a benefit to having them, I think. And then on top of that, I think we'll be able to have a power up from the pet and even get more things. Okay, so we have 110,000 gardeners, 44,000 or 45,000 green eggs. Okay, and then to hatch the eggs, though, and we could break it down: foraging, fishing, and mining is the lowest. There's the number one hero count in the game are miners. There's more miners by a decent amount than any other profession.
That's because of the previous exploits.
Yes, you got it. But there's the least amount of yellow eggs between the four professions. So there's going to be a huge disparity there. So I think there's going to be a lot of fishing and foraging eggs that are applied to miners. Then you can send the miners fishing and foraging with those pets as well. So we could break it down with each profession, but here's the nitty gritty. Not enough pets to supply the heroes. If the pets are good, it'll cause demand for more pets. So then more eggs will be hatched. Here's the problem. We only have, we're about 4 million tiers short to hatch all the green, blue, and gray eggs alone. We're 4 million tiers short. There's not enough tiers to hatch all the eggs. There's not enough pets to supply the heroes. Okay, so if the pets turn out being a good bang for their buck, they're worth owning. And I think they'll be somewhat close to the value of a hero, is my thoughts. I could be way wrong. Okay.
Wow.
Could be way wrong. But if it kind of turns out to the benefit, the actual real world profitable benefit of owning a pet is worth having, then the whole ecosystem is going to explode. So the tiers have been driving a big part of the ecosystem. And the way to get more tiers is by having a pet and getting the power up and questing profession 10 level questing. I think that's going to increase the tier drop rate, but we don't have enough tiers to hatch the eggs. Okay, so it's like tiers are gonna, and then we're gonna have crafting coming. And as PvP continues to develop out and it's fun and it's awesome, guess what we're going to be doing? We're going to be in there. We're going to be dark summoning. We're going to be trying to get our awesome heroes. We're going to be doing more summoning. That takes tiers. And then we're going to want to stampot those heroes up. That takes tons of tiers to get the stampots. Look out. So I don't know. Tiers have already like 30 to 50x'd since August.
That's crazy. Holy crap. So somebody could have made a 50x if they had just bought up all of the tiers. And honestly, I think it's only going to continue going up.
Yes.
I really do.
When the pet utility actually goes live.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people are going to be trying to hatch them. And what is it? Is it 5K or 50K for the extra mythic chance?
Gold. So you gotta, it's 5,000 gold if you want to hatch boom. So you always definitely, without question right now, you always want to hatch boom because the mythic, it's all about getting a better rarity pet.
Right.
So although I'm saying I think a 1-star common pet will be worth owning, okay, the difference between a 1-star and a 3-star questing bonus is 4x. So you get 4x the questing bonus if it's a 3-star instead of a 1-star questing bonus.
Okay.
And then on top of that, the rarity is purely for XP gain. So the XP gain in the heroes on a legendary, on a mythic is going to be like 90% more XP every quest. Plus what you're getting from the questing bonuses, getting more materials, because that's also a big part of the XP. As you're getting more materials, you get more XP, and then you can level your heroes faster.
Awesome.
Yes.
So, so if you have a pet and you also have the level up bonus.
That's right.
So those will stack?
Yes. And the 2 current bonuses we have now, I would say are a no-brainer. If you've got jewels staked in that jeweler, one of them is a 15% boost in XP, and the other one, you gain stamina quicker. Yeah, the higher the level, the faster you're gaining stamina. And so, especially your high-leveled heroes, they're both awesome. And then on top of that, you throw a pet, that'll give you more XP. Okay. And then based off the rarity and the stars and the items that you're getting, plus I think we'll have a pet power-up bonus of some kind.
That's awesome.
Yes. And it might be tiers related. I'm not sure, or it might just be an overall like questing or XP bonus of some kind. So the incentive to have a pet is going to be the driver. Now, if the 1-star common pets don't turn out being worth having for most of our heroes, I'm still bullish on all of it, but it makes me a little slightly less bullish on like that right now. Kind of my thoughts are, I have no idea where tiers could go. I think tiers, for all I know, it could even possibly go up to like $1. There's
that's very bullish.
That's probably exaggerated, but 5 to 10 cents I think is super realistic.
Yeah.
Even if a 1-star common pet is just I'm still thinking 5 cents would be pretty realistic, and it's at 1 penny right now. Yeah, so I bought 100,000 tiers in August. Okay, and it was nothing. I mean, their tiers were like worthless.
That's
I did that when Hubert said they were changing the drop rates of the tiers on Crystalvale launch. And so, but they stayed worthless for so long, and I ended up selling them and using them before they really pumped up. It was like,
That's awesome, though, that you had the conviction to do that, because that's what it takes to make money in this type of climate. Like, when the market is going down, you have to have conviction on the things that you think are going to eventually pay off. Like, when other people are selling, you need to be buying.
That's right. That's right. And so the sentiment of the ecosystem is so low right now because of all these delays. But the fundamentals of DeFi Kingdoms has never been stronger, ever.
Right.
And so when you look at the partnerships going on and all the different things they have going, have you heard about this TV show called The Next Crypto Gym? Have you heard about any of that?
So I know that Dreamer and Frisky Fox were on the show or whatever, and they made the top 8, I think, I want to say.
Oh, really? Where'd you hear that?
I thought I heard that the other day in the AMA.
Oh, no, I don't know if they've actually made it or not. I think there's a top 16.
Okay.
And I think there's a real solid chance they make the top 16 from everything I can see. And it's like they have hardcore NDAs, so I don't think anybody knows.
Okay. So that was probably just speculation then.
Speculation. But then there's a top 4, and I even think they've got a strong chance to make it in the top 4.
Okay.
So let's hope and pray. Okay. And I think the exposure that's going to get them is going to be huge. And just the fact that just this past week, they've been shooting this TV show in front of George, in front of BitBoy, in front of Leia, and this Brian D. Evans guy.
Yeah.
Okay. These are big time. Some other big crypto people had their eyes listening to Dreamer talking about the fundamentals of DeFi Kingdoms. And you can't hardly, there's hardly a glitch in their armor anywhere. They're, again, like most crypto projects, it's like communication, messaging, things like that is kind of their weakness, I would say. But compared to almost any other project out there, they still do their weekly AMAs. They try to listen to community feedback. So even actually in that regard, they're strong, I would say. And so, I don't know. Do you have any more thoughts on that?
I think the only thing that really slowed them down and hurt them.
Yeah.
Well, there were a couple things.
Yeah.
One was the amount of money that they paid themselves, like their salaries. For a while there, when we were in a bull market, they were paying themselves entirely too much money.
Okay.
I think on a weekly basis, they were getting paid like 200 grand a week, which is just insane to think about. And I'm not going to say who my sources were on that information, but they were getting paid a ridiculous amount. The guys at the top, Dreamer, Frisky Fox, they were getting paid way too much money.
Okay, I think, did they have like an agreement based off the number of Joule, and then Joule just like thousands of X'd,
right? And they were getting paid in Joule. So they were dumping that Joule on the market, like market dumping Joule, because that's what they were getting paid in, because that's what most of their treasury consisted of. And that's still what their treasury consists of, mainly is Joule, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But they, at one point, they were paying themselves way too much of a salary. And then the second thing was obviously their connection, or Frisky Fox's connection. I need to be clear there because he was the only one that was connected to Loot Swap.
Right.
He was a original dev on the original Loot Swap team, and he never made that information clear to the public until people called him out and found out the connection there. But honestly, like I said before, people are going to forget all about that by the next bull market.
Did you happen to see my interview with Frisky Fox on that? We hit on a lot of those things.
No, I didn't.
Oh, really? So I brought him on the channel, and he had already said this on the AMAs and stuff. But yeah, with Loot Swap, he recognized the core values weren't the same, and he just quietly left within like less than a week, I think, of being on the team right off.
Well, that exchange didn't last for much longer after that.
Yeah, and he never even got paid at all. He never even got paid a dime from that. So but he didn't want to go FUD on the project because it was still going, so he just kept it quiet.
Yeah.
And that's when he started DeFi Kingdoms. He kind of left that and he's like, I want to do something better than a lot of this crap that he's seen out there. I mean, that was his initial why and vision.
Sure.
Yeah, and then
I put out a video backing him up because
yeah,
I was there on day one of Loot Swap as well,
Mhm.
being in Harmony at the time. And so I was an investor in that, just like I was for Viper Swap, just like I was for DeFi Kingdoms.
Okay.
But I still, so
Yeah.
even though I back him up and say that he didn't necessarily do anything wrong,
Mhm.
he still probably should have been transparent about
Yeah.
that connection there.
And I think he said that. I think
He
said,
did.
yeah, he did.
He
say
realized his mistake there.
Yeah. Another thing, I want to say that the team's treasury is all in USDC now, pretty much. I would love to get the exact, but I know that most of it is in USDC, and now the team is paid in USDC.
Bolin said last week that the treasury is still very much in Jewel.
He did. Really?
Yeah, in the AMA this week. But obviously Dreamer is the guy to really ask about that because
Right.
he takes care of all the finances, but he wasn't there obviously because he's filming a show. So yeah, I think he would be the guy to actually ask, okay, what are the financials right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've talked about it with them and they have brought it up a lot. Yeah, in the past it was all in Jewel. They definitely have some in Jewel still, but I think it's mostly USDC actually.
That's great.
That was a big reason why the scare of the DPEG with USDC freaked them out. I mean, because that's like their main thing in their treasury, and they addressed it a lot. And I'm still concerned. What do you think about that situation with USDC? It only took $3.3 billion bank transfer to cause them to shut off that Friday. They shut it off, early in the day. They shut off the, redeeming one USDC for $1. They shut that off before the banks closed, just based off a $3.3 billion transfer. What are your thoughts there? It didn't take much to get them to.
So I mean,
yeah,
I know it's crypto, right? And USDC is technically considered a crypto, but it was almost like a bank run, essentially.
Yeah.
Because in a bank, it's a fractional reserve system, right? USDC is supposedly backed 1-for-1, but it's not just in US dollars. Like they have a treasury just like any other company does, and they go out and invest in bonds, and they're looking for yield as well on that treasury. And
that's what they do.
That's kind of like the problem with the banking system, right? And that's why crypto was created to begin with. So I've never been a big fan of pegged dollars in crypto. I've always been more of a fan of trading through Ethereum or Bitcoin, but that's just a personal opinion. There are a lot of people that have always hedged back into stable coins. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But these are the ramifications of playing with those types of systems.
That's right. Because they had a $40 billion market cap and it went down to like 30 billion. Okay. So, but the initial bank run that before that really hit hard, it was just like a few $1 billion.
Yeah.
And then they had to shut off redemptions during business hours on that Friday, which was March the 10th. Okay. And just based off a $3.3 billion transfer and that caused them to shut down.
It was because they were fearful of what was going to happen to Silicon Valley Bank.
Yeah. But that's just, they only had 3.3 billion there. Like we've seen Tether one time had a $20 billion bank run and they never shut off anything. No problem. They've never shut off the ability to go redeem. And even like UST, Luna saw they saw billions upon billions upon billions upon billions of dollars of sell pressure before it really depegged. And so it's like a $3.3 billion. So that still makes me nervous, even though they say,
I think they were worried though that more people would try to pull out. And so they shut it off in fear that more people would try to pull out their funds.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, like we said, their treasury isn't just a 1-for-1 US dollar backing.
Only 23% backed by the dollar. 23%
right
is all. The rest.
So if you know the people, if 23% of the people went to pull out funds, then they wouldn't have any US dollars left to give out because the rest is being invested in other yields.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they were just worried that, I mean, if you think about it, that's almost 10% of their entire treasury. So,
that's right. Yeah. So, okay. So anyways, that aside, I'm glad it's back, but I just put all my all the money I had in stable coins, I put it in Bitcoin and Ethereum and Binance Coin. And we've since see it. That was when Bitcoin was at like $20,000 or $21,000.
Awesome play.
Yeah, that paid off. Not that I had a whole bunch out there because I've managed to lose. So I was in Luna when Luna was at 50 cents. So I was a big Luna bull. I was in all those protocols and the whole ecosystem all over the place and was so bullish on it. Decentralized banking, right? That's like the number one use case for crypto. And they were coming out with the debit cards. People in South Korea already had the debit cards. You could completely bypass the banks.
Yeah.
And then and then the Harmony Bridge hack just wrecked me to no end. And then I had a bunch in Voyager and I pretty much managed.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Managed to lose all my money.
You literally like went in on all of the like shadiest things. Golly. Like, okay, so Terra Luna, I never touched that because when I read about it, I thought that it was too good to be true. When you take a look at fractional reserve banking systems, and I mean, Satoshi Nakamoto wrote about this in the Bitcoin white paper about how shady fractional reserves were.
Right.
Well, like Terra, the Terra Foundation was a fraction of a fraction, and they thought that was going to sustain itself over time, but the problem is if you have a big player out there that's willing to crash the system, then anything is possible. So I thought that it was too good to be true. I never touched Terra Luna, and I'm really glad that I didn't. I feel for everybody that did, though, because I've been there where like I lost all of my money in crypto. I mean, in 2013, I had all of my money in crypto on Mt. Gox. So by 2014, I had lost all of my Bitcoin that I had purchased. But it helped me learn a very valuable lesson, right? Like if you don't physically own those assets, then they're not yours.
Right. Yeah. And so how much are you getting back? Are you getting quite a bit back here coming up?
I think that I'll basically get pennies on the dollar.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I'm happy to get anything back after all these years. Right. But, yeah, I don't think that, I'll get very much.
Why? I thought quite a bit was coming back. No?
So I think the way that the courts, and I haven't kept up with the news on it, to be honest with you. I'll have to go back through my emails and see how they're dispersing it, but I don't think it's like a 1-for-1 where like, okay, you had this many Bitcoins, you're getting this many Bitcoins back. I think that it's based on the US dollar value at that time.
Okay.
So
Really?
like
So just at that time.
yeah, Bitcoin, well, because they didn't have all of the Bitcoin that was stolen,
Right.
right? So what was left over is being dispersed to not only people that were invested at that time, but a lot of that is going to paying lawyer fees, unfortunately. And that's honestly, when it comes down to these types of lawsuits that happen and going through bankruptcy filings, it's always the lawyers that win. The investors are always the ones that get screwed over.
Always.
But yeah, so the way that they're delegating it, I think, is based on the US dollar value and not on the Bitcoin value.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, because like you think about it, the price of Bitcoin is 28 times higher than it was back then.
Right. Golly, man. Okay. And yeah, I managed to lose everything twice now. So I made a couple $1 million on the last run.
Nice.
Like $1 million of that was profit. And then I had sold my business, my insurance company that I had. And I was actually about to buy a business for tax shelter or kind of create a business and buy into a business. And then that happened. And
Jeez.
I was just holding off a little bit. And so I also got pretty wrecked in Phantom and some things that happened there in the Phantom ecosystem, and golly. So now we're kind of back to broke as a joke again. We've done it twice, baby.
Yeah. Hey, but I'm pretty sure you learned some very valuable lessons out of that, though.
Well, the main lesson I've learned is that the banks control everything. And if you try to F with them, they're probably going to take you down. Not really. So I think, if you ask me, I think it was, if we were to know exactly who was behind the extremely well coordinated attack on the Luna ecosystem, that's another thing. Like, that was a clear coordinated attack against the Luna ecosystem.
Yeah.
Versus USDC didn't have any attack. It just like came out of nowhere. That's what's so crazy to me, but that makes me trust the stable coins even less.
Yeah.
Especially,
I've never trusted them.
And I've always been pretty anti USDC because of what's behind it. In the companies and bet. I don't know. There's been a few really good videos put out by Coin Bureau on it.
You're talking about Circle?
Yeah, Circle, USDC.
Coinbase is also in bed with Circle.
Yeah, I know. Coinbase which is interesting.
Yeah.
And so Goldman Sachs, BlackRock.
I actually really like Coinbase, but that's a personal opinion.
Yeah, I like Coinbase, but I don't trust them either.
They get a lot of hate.
Yeah, I know. Right. Right at first look, there's some things they do, the fees they charge, on your every trade. And so just right off the bat, I hate that. And so, like, if you go and buy, like, let's say you go buy $5 worth of a cryptocurrency, you're still going to get hit with their base fee, whatever it is, $1.99 or something, things like that. I've never been a huge fan of Coinbase, but they are on the right side here. So I'm definitely rooting for Coinbase for sure, without question. They're just, so I've always been so I was in Binance when it was at 79 cents. That's when I first got in. And when I first got in, everybody, like, Binance was the most fudded exchange out there. And everybody has always said, don't touch Binance. centralized, da 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 da. The arguments have been there the whole time, and CZ has only ever done what's awesome. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but so I've always, and especially when a lot of the FUD out there convinced me to sell most of my Binance coin, even though I still had intent to buy it back. I still just wasn't sure. You just always hear FUD from all the worst players too. Usually it's always your Kevin O'Leary's and people like that.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
And so I love that you're covering Binance. You've been covering that, by the way, a little bit. And so he is just what I would say, innocent as a dove, but shrewd as a snake. CZ is so shrewd.
Yeah.
He's so big brains, but he only ever always does right by the people in his actions from everything I've ever seen. So I've always been more and more. He's just proven himself to me. It's like I could write a book on that's how you succeed in business. You do what's right by the people, you develop a good reputation. And he became one of the wealthiest guys in the world. Like in 2017, Binance was just one of the smallest exchanges. Now, Bittrex was big back then. Now we don't have Bittrex.
Yeah. I was super sad to hear that because I actually had really good connections with the Bittrex team. Back in 2016, I used to chat with those guys every day on Slack. Mm-hmm. They had this Slack channel where just anybody at that time could go in and talk with them. And I mean, crypto was a different time for crypto back then, though. Everybody kind of knew everybody at that point.
Yep.
And so I really liked their team. I liked their approach. Security was always number one for them, which I thought was amazing. The creator of Bittrex actually worked in the security department of Microsoft. So he had a very technical approach to security, and I really appreciated that. So I always stuck with Bittrex because I knew that my funds were going to be safe on their exchange. Mm-hmm. And to hear this week that they're having to shut down their US operations because of the regulations that are coming into play, it's very sad to see because, I mean, it's such a different climate than it was, 5-6 years ago. And, China was the one that was cracking down at that time on crypto.
Right.
And now it seems like they're kind of ushering crypto back into their country. And here in the United States, we're kind of shunning it. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Such a bummer. Bittrex, man. Oh, so what do you think is going to happen? If they try to go after, I don't know, how easy would it be for them to shut down Binance.us? I know.
So I don't think that, first of all, it's not even, it has the Binance name, but I don't think there are any legal ties to Binance at all. At all.
Right.
I don't even think it's a subsidiary, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're correct.
So
I think that Binance does get some kind of kickback from it
for using their name.
Yes.
But that's it.
And using kind of their technology. But yeah, that's it. So
I don't know what they could go after them for because Binance.us, I don't believe has allowed any of these so-called securities to be listed on their exchange. They've tried to keep these securities, these unregistered securities off of their exchange.
Right. And they've done pretty well with that. I love your little short video you have here on Twitter on that. And I guess Ben Armstrong was pulled into that.
Yeah, he was. I don't really understand how they could, and it was Jimmy Butler, Ben Armstrong, BitBoy Crypto, and Graham Stephan. Like, I thought that was so weird. Like, Graham Stephan every now and then would say, "Hey, if you want to get, you know, uh, if you want to get like $10 extra in Bitcoin, sign up with my link below on Binance." But I don't think that warrants being added to $1 billion lawsuit.
Right.
But honestly, I think it's a fruitless lawsuit, because in order for them to prove that they deserve to be sued on U.S. soil, then they would have to prove that they were operating in the U.S., which is not true. They haven't operated in the U.S. for 5 years.
Right. So you nailed it with that. I just think it's the politicians, they own, or the banks own the media, they own the politicians, and they kind of dictate a lot of this. And they're just protecting the banks because the banks are actually threatened right now.
Yeah.
More people keep pulling their money out of the banks and putting it into crypto, which makes the most sense, then there is going to be a bank run. Like, I think we've seen that, and they're actually scared for the first time. And so we got Elizabeth Warren just coming out hardcore against it. You've got all these politicians coming out because the banks are threatened. And so it's like, do you want to back our banking monetary system or do you want to get free from that? I don't know. It's crazy. So, okay. Anything else on that front?
You mentioned about like who you thought pulled the rug out from under Terra Luna, and I have my own theory. I think that it was Alameda Research that planned that attack because they were in the hole by so much money that they thought that there was a way that they could short Terra Luna and make billions of dollars back that they had lost.
And it worked.
I mean, it did, but they were still in the hole for billions of dollars of users' funds on FTX.
I know. So they made countless billions of dollars in that Terra Luna thing. And I think it was Sam Bankman-Fried who was in bed with, we know who he was in bed with.
Yeah.
Including USDC. Okay. This is where it's like, and I was kind of saying a lot of these things. I don't go too far with them because they're a little bit a little bit theories, but because it's like, how do you really know this stuff? But even CZ said that. And I don't know.
And that also kind of goes to show like the differences between those types of exchanges, right? Like FTX was being run simultaneously with a trading desk under the same roof, right? Alameda Research was Sam Bankman-Fried's first baby. He created that business. Then he created FTX as a side hustle, essentially. And he could have made billions of dollars off of trading fees with FTX.
Yeah.
And that's something that CZ has brought up multiple times, saying, why do I need to do that whenever I have a successful exchange that I'm making fees on every single day?
Yep.
And so that mindset, that shift is really what determines what I believe is a good exchange versus a bad exchange. If you have a leader at the top that's willing to say, look, I don't need to do all of these extra steps because I'm already raking in the fees of the exchange itself. Then you've got somebody over here that's saying, oh, I want to play trader while also operating an exchange. It just doesn't make sense.
Right. And so the key to success, I would say, in life and in business, in relationships, is the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And you operate with that. Okay. And it's a long-term vision that you have that's driven by a strong why, and whatever it is we're doing in life, whatever it is, and it's a strong drive of your why, and you treat people right, you build an awesome reputation. It's the key to success in business. Look at CZ. How did he get so wealthy? How did the exchange get so big? When it was nothing in 2017, it was tiny. And back then, Coinbase was like 20 times bigger. Now Coinbase is 1/10 the size of Binance. Okay. And it's just because they treat people awesome. They follow the golden rule, and it's easy to use, and it's the lowest fees, and it's just the best. You look at how he handled the tokenomics. Did he try and take a bunch of money for himself? No, it's like over 90% of BNB is burned, or 92% now. And it's deflationary. Everything he ever does always is looking out, following the golden rule. And then look, success follows you like a freight train. And it's really hard to slow down once it's up to full speed. That's how this works. But if you've got a 5 minutes in front of your face, try to make a quick buck mentality, which is so weird that so many people have that. Okay, just looking at the 5 minutes in front of your face, try to make a quick deal, say whatever you got to say to sell the deal. And then they rip people off, they scam, they're shady, they wreck their name, they wreck their reputation. Nobody wants to do business with them anymore. The word gets out, and then you end up like the Wolf of Wall Street. Perfect example. That's Sam Bankman-Fried, was the Wolf of Wall Street these days. Wolf of Wall Street had it made. He made a lot of money. He had yachts. He had women. What did he have at the end?
Nothing.
Didn't even have his car, and his woman left him sitting in jail with nothing. That's how this works in the end.
So he actually, I think about a year ago, switched his tune on crypto. He initially said that Bitcoin was a scam or a Ponzi scheme and would eventually fail. And then a year ago, he realized that he could capitalize on the hype train of crypto. And so he started getting involved in a lot of crypto projects. And one of those was actually a gaming project that I am failing to remember the name of. I think it was like Cross the Ages or something. Maybe
Okay.
No. I made a video about it like a year ago, but I knew that project was something that nobody should ever invest in because of the people that attach their name to it. And he was one of them. He was like at the top. And guess what happened? Their treasury, they spent all of their money, or they rug pulled or whatever. And now that game is under new management for whatever reason. And anytime you have a game that is under new management, that tells you that there was a massive problem behind closed doors. So like, you really have to pay attention to the people behind the scenes that are active in these communities. And anytime you see people like that are just vultures that attach their name to these projects, you really want to stay away from those.
Yeah. So Sam Bankman-Fried was like anti-Bitcoin, you said? Was that Sam?
No, the Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, got you. I was talking about the movie, but I didn't put together till now. Got you.
What's his name? Jordan Belfort.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Jordan Belfort.
Got you. Man. Okay. Before too much time gets away, first, shout out to Little 90. How do I pronounce this? I love it. Okay. And she gave 20 blue eggs. I think if this is the right person, tell me if I'm right. If this is the right person, 20 blue eggs to give away later on here tonight, or sometime here fairly soon after this stream with Crypto Clay. I'm doing a giveaway with Crypto Kong, 20 blue eggs, DeFi Kingdoms blue eggs. Shout out to them. And we also, let's come back to Dragon's Crossing.
Yeah.
A little bit. Diamond Hands in the house. I love this guy. Okay. You just pulled something up. Look at these pets.
Oh yeah. These are some of the pets that I summoned this week. I've never summoned hatched any of mine, I should say.
Yeah.
And dude, I am so stoked about this whelp. I was kind of hoping, so wolves are like my favorite.
Right?
And I was kind of hoping that I would get a mythic direwolf.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's legendary. He's close. He's
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, it's awesome. Dude, that's huge.
But yeah, I've got quite a few rares
Uh-huh.
that I summoned. I've got some uncommons, and then
Yeah.
I've got a ton of commons.
Right.
But yeah, I've got a couple of really good ones that I'm excited for. This one is actually, so the whelp is gives me a mythic combat bonus, and I'm excited to see what happens with that.
No.
Because the combat system looks, have you tried it yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
I like it. I
I-
like it a lot.
I think it's phenomenal. So I went up, I met Pervy Sage, baby. I met Workhorse. I met him. Pervy Sage is from an anime called Naruto. And he's like my kids. It was like their favorite guy on the TV show. And that's what his Twitter handle was at first. Workhorse was called Pervy Sage.
Nice.
Jiraiya, right? And Naruto. Okay. And so that's why I always call him that. And a lot of people don't know that history. Yeah, congrats on your whelp. I love it. And so I went and met him. I love it. I love how clean it is. So like when you come in here to DeFi Kingdoms, okay, and you can just come right here. It's just right there, combat testing. And it's so clean, the interface. And I think any Joe Schmo can get in and play and have fun learning the game, getting into it a little bit.
Oh, you're playing on Sarandel.
Either side. This is just an example.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I completely switched over to Crystalvale.
Well, if you want to hatch or summon, Jade is so much cheaper.
Really?
Like, oh my gosh. Jade is like 3.6 cents, whereas Crystal's still at 5. Like, so there's not parity between the two power tokens. So it's so much cheaper to summon.
But what about the fee costs though of Klaytn?
Yes. So I don't keep I keep most of my heroes in Crystalvale because of the fees. You got it.
Okay.
But to summon and hatch eggs, you want to do that on Crystalvale.
Gotcha.
Which, and again, every time we summon or spend, even the tavern fees. So that's either in Crystal or Jade. 5% of that Jade is now burned, or Crystal burned out of existence. 15% of that is auto sold right into Jewel and put into the jeweler. So it's automatic buy pressure for Jewel every time we're spending these power tokens. And then that's how the Jewel funds the jeweler for interest that we make by putting money in the jeweler.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then, percentage of that also goes to the garden rewards. And then percentage of that goes to the team. And that goes for all the fees. They also have, and when we duel, I think it's 50% of all that is burned.
Wow.
Just burned. And then there's also, so they're creating all these burning mechanisms. So now on Crystalvale, let's see, I'm going to go to that realm real quick on Crystalvale. Okay. And you come to the meditation circle in Crystalvale, these token offerings. On this.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Yeah, 75% of all this crystal gets burned.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's like there's a lot of tokens being burned. 50% of all the Jewel gas fees get burned. There's already been over a million Jewel burned out of existence. If people also early withdrawal out of the jeweler, which is a 50% penalty, man. But all of that gets burned. That 50% of Jewel gets burned when people do that. That's how we've had over a million Jewel, or almost to 1.1 million Jewel now burned. It's awesome.
That is awesome. So it's becoming very deflationary.
Yeah.
And that will only continue to grow as more people get involved.
That's right.
Like their Twitter handle has over 100,000 followers.
Yeah.
And
we're talking like 500 daily active users right now.
Really?
Yeah.
So just imagine if
Look
we
out.
10x that number, 5,000 daily active users.
Right. So 1 year ago, it was 55,000 daily active wallets in this game.
Wow.
Can you imagine where
So
all
that's
this?
100x.
Yeah. So from 500 daily active users, now a lot more wallets, but a lot of us, it's like I have 7 wallets because I have 1,800 heroes, over 18.
Sure.
Yeah. And so a lot of us have tons of wallets now. I don't like keeping up with all of them, but having so many dang wallets. Anyways, this is why I'm so bullish on the game. The fundamentals are so strong. The team is a lot more solidified. Everything is a lot more structured, and the foundational pieces are in place. I love it, man. Bullish. Yeah. Bullish on DFK. Okay. Crypto Clay. Yes. I love it. Rock Lee. Rock Lee. I love Rock Lee. Okay. That's another Naruto character. Okay. Yeah. Congrats on that. Well, Sir Worm in the house. Okay, guys, let's do this giveaway for Dragon's Crossing. What do you think of Dragon's Crossing? I think it's going to be phenomenal. Any other thoughts on this? Crypto Clay.
Man, I am so pumped for its launch next month. So we're in April now, so we can definitely say that it's launching next month.
I know.
But there is so much that is still to be determined, right? Like, we don't know what chain they're going to be launching on yet. I'm excited to hear, like, dude, what if they launched on the DFK chain? How cool would that be?
I'm so hoping so. But the vibe I got, if you remember some of the things, like I don't know where they're at, but I think they're talking about revealing which blockchain here pretty soon.
Yeah.
They've been deep in talks with DFK. I know that. But I think one of the concerns right now, and I almost brought this up. This is where I was kind of going earlier with the exchanges. If Jewel were on an exchange, like something like Binance or Coinbase, you could buy some Jewel and send it in straight into the DFK chain. That would be big without having to bridge money in. So
right.
That's one plus with having the Klaytn chain now as well. Is like a lot of the, like KuCoin and some of the places have Klaytn. You can just buy the Klaytn, send it right in and start playing the game. Once that comes for Jewel, that's another big, huge hurdle. And that's coming. We know that's coming, but I think we're still like 3 to 6 months away. And then the activity, so the vibe I was getting was that if, just think of some of these other blockchains out there like Avalanche and all these massively huge partnerships and player base going on in some of these different blockchains, the exposure they would get is huge. But again, I'm so bullish on DFK. So I was hollering at Doug's calling me. I love it. I was hollering at Bloater Punch like, hey, I think there's a lot coming for DeFi Kingdoms to their chain. And the chain has worked well until recently. We've had a few problems recently. It's pretty much back to normal, the DFK chain. But the day they announced this combat testing grounds just happens to be the one and only day ever that Avalanche goes down. It's killing me. Oh, and so, and it's like right around the same time when Dragon's Crossing is really looking into the DFK chain too. And I was like, oh, and so the DFK chain had a lot of problems from that. Now they were even working on breaking off, even being an Avalanche subnet where they're their own completely autonomous, independent blockchain.
Yeah.
Which they can do at any time. And they did have to restructure all their validators recently, but I think it worked out for them to still technically be a subnet. But they just had a huge update as well on the chain. So if you've got any of that locked Crystal, I think Crystal's going to be dumping hard continuously to where I think we'll be working towards a little bit more of a parity between Crystal and Jade. I think Crystal's around 5.5 cents ish. Jade is at like 3.6 cents or something like that. So, man, we got Raph in the house and Neindorf Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms. I love you. Oh, man, Crypto Kong had this awesome impersonation. Then I think it was Bob Nothing. Was it Bob Nothing did another impersonation? Woo! So there's this whitelist contest going on right now in the Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms Discord page, their guild there that they've got. And whoever can do the best impersonation of me is the winner. So I'm going to end the show. I'll be airing a lot of these impersonations that have come out. I love it. So we had Crypto Kong do one. We had Bob Nothing. I think it was Bob Nothing do one. It's hilarious. Okay. So I'm sorry. I'm the rabbit trail master.
Oh, dude, you're good.
Yes. So I am so pumped for Dragon's Crossing.
Me too.
I'm going to be getting, Chozo. I'm going to be getting my hands on the beta version of the game here soon. And I'm going to be doing some like deep dives into the game. I can't wait for that.
You should give out a whitelist slot.
We're doing it. So there's a lot of different ways we could give out the whitelist spot for this game right now. We're going to give one out.
Dude, you should do one of those like spin wheels with everybody's name in the chat right now.
The problem with that is it takes a little time. I do that sometimes. I've got it. I've got the wheel up even right here. This is, I think, the previous time.
Perfect.
And I just got to go in there and type it all out.
Oh, you have to type it? It doesn't have a list of people's names?
Yeah, see, there's a way. Brown, there's even a way right now. This could be live on your channel as well.
Oh, really?
This StreamYard app, but it's like I need to just look into it more because I skimmed some of the details on it, and it's like, no, it doesn't give me the option, and nothing's changed on my side at all for StreamYard, but it's like. Other people, there's like a checkbox where I could say, let Crypto Clay view it on his channel.
That would be cool.
Already set up with StreamYard.
All right. Well, dude, what if we did some trivia then, and the first person to get an answer right?
That's what I normally do.
Okay.
We don't want to spend too much time on a wheel. Okay.
Okay.
So there's another way to do a giveaway on StreamYard that's super quick and easy based off hashtag and then their answer.
Okay.
On a question, but I don't know how to set that up yet. But I'm going to do it here soon. Crypto Kong, another thing what he's doing, he's setting my schedule for me, and I'm going to give him the keys to the kingdom, at least to my YouTube, so that he can get in. So he's setting my schedule for me. So he put in the schedule, Crypto Clay Sunday, and all these different streams I've been doing. And he's setting my schedule, and he's going to kind of clean up my YouTube page and start even maybe doing some thumbnails for me. Ooh, I'm so pumped for that. So Dragon's Crossing, pumped for the game. I think it's going to be an addictive game, really fun to play. It's going to be simple. They want to make it simple and easy to get into and easy to play for Web 2 people to just be able to, without too much complication, be able to jump in and play. Okay. And sustainable tokenomics, fun game, ready to go on day one. And the team, they don't have to sell a bunch of tokens to stay afloat. That's not how this works.
Right.
I love it. So boom. Okay. So I've got some trivia questions I could ask. I like to ask questions about the game.
Okay.
Okay. So last time I did one like this, I had compared in the video, I had compared a little aspect of this game that's coming of Dragon's Crossing to DeFi Kingdoms used to have these daily leaderboard contests every day. And there was winners. And if you're first place, you won 500 Joule. Second place, you won like 350 Joule. Third place, you won 250 Joule. And man, a year ago, that was worth $5,000, $3,000
Golly, yeah.
every day. And that was when I really aped into a bunch of heroes. I was competing for those contests. I was winning sometimes. And it was so fun. It was like my days started revolving around the daily contest. And it was like, and then I would set up. I knew, right when the clock was going to turn and there was going to be a new contest go live, I always knew that was going to happen every day. And I like had it pre-planned and set up and scheduled. So just that little aspect of that's still to this day the favorite part of DeFi Kingdoms I've ever played.
It's the community aspect.
That too. Yeah, for sure. So I think that aspect of fun in the leaderboard contest is also going to be in Dragon's Crossing. Plus, it's just going to be a fun game to play anyways. But that element is going to be there where there's contests, there's seasons in this game. So that was my last question I asked.
Did you get my message on Discord?
When?
Don't show it on stream.
Yeah. I'm gonna look. Do you have a question in mind? I love this. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good one. Good one. All right. Are you guys ready? We've got our trivia question. This is perfect. I was gonna actually go in a similar direction. Okay. Here's the question. Are you guys ready? Whoever wants to win a whitelist spot. Here we go. The time is now. You have to be the first to answer this question and get the answer right. The first one on the YouTube stream that pops up first. When you answer, you're on your side, you answer and hit submit, it shows up right away. But there's a little bit of a lag between when everybody can see it right away. Just FYI. Okay. Are you guys ready? Peter. That's right. What's the question? Here's the question. Is everybody ready? Just want to make sure. Everybody's ready. What is the first hero that the team announced? What was the first hero the team ever announced? What's the name of that hero? Go.
Let's see who's been paying attention since the Twitter launch.
Oh, sir.
Wow.
Sir.
Wow.
Baby.
He answered that so fast, dude.
Baby. He sure did. Dang.
He answered that so fast.
That was
Sir Jules Staker.
And Sir Jules Staker blew me up on Twitter saying, I better win a whitelist spot. Congrats.
There you go, dude.
Congrats. Look, I love these. We have Samurai in there, Zerker, Ninja, Mage, Paladin. I love this. Oh, and the second place was Skiller, baby. Skiller got the runner up. Look at this. Yes, congrats. Skiller, have you won one yet? I love this. Okay.
I actually have another question that I could. How many are you giving away?
Well, I was just going to give one. I've been giving maybe too many away.
Okay.
So I wanted to slow it down, but here's the deal. Crypto Clay is going to be able to give 3 away on his channel.
Holy cow.
Whenever you want.
Okay.
And I'm going to send you those spots. And Sir Jules Staker, who's my sidekick, baby, in Miami, when we went to Miami, we were repping DeFi Kingdoms out there. That was where I met Jet on Next Crypto Gem TV show and helped make that connection. That's where I made a lot of awesome connections, connected with Crypto Lifer, who also came on the channel. That was so fun. So Sir Jules Staker, I'll send you your whitelist spot. And so if you had another trivia question and do you want to do giveaways on your channel? Do you want to do that?
Yeah, man. So I was actually going to make a video I haven't done any DFK content in a long time. Ooh. So I was going to do the summoning, make a video on that, and maybe give a whitelist spot away on that.
Yes. Well, you'll have 3. but you don't have to give them all away at once. You can do it kind of however you want, and I'll help you. I'll be your point man on it. I can even come on the channel if you want.
That'd be great, man.
I'll be helping. Yeah, I'll be helping spread the word if you want to announce it ahead of time when you're doing those giveaways away, and I'll help you spread that word. Get all that going. I love that. Do you have any other DeFi? I could talk DeFi Kingdoms all day long. The ins and outs.
Let's see where I'm at right now on the. So
yeah.
Dang, I'm only 40 minutes away from this summoning.
Okay.
Oh man. Can I present? I'll share that screen.
Share that screen.
See. All right. So so you guys can see my wizard and my priest there, my Gen Zeros. Those are my only Gen Zeros, by the way. Like, I'm not fortunate enough, like some of these rich people out there that have like 20 Gen Zeros. But I have been trying to get a summoner out of these Gen Zeros for a while now.
Okay.
And I haven't gotten one yet. So hopefully tonight is the night. Like I said, I did get this priest the other day, and I've already started leveling it. It's already level 5. I got that just a week ago, and it's already level 5. So I've been leveling him pretty hardcore.
Did you stampot that?
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay. Dang. Do you use a bot at all?
I don't. Okay. This is one of those lessons learned, guys. Yeah. This is one of those. I've been in crypto for far too long to ever give anybody my private key. My private key is mine and mine alone. I do not. So as great as those guys are, and I'm sure they're great, that own those bots, that run those bot systems. I personally do not trust anybody but myself with my private keys.
Yep. That's smart. That's good. That's smart. They have, they don't, some of the botting systems might have like maybe there is a private key, everyone's private key for some of them, like on a server that they don't have access to, just the bot does. There's different ways and different mechanisms out there. But as far as like Helper and the waifu bots, they don't ever have your private keys on their side. So you download the bot onto your computer. So there's still a risk.
Yeah, that's still a third-party risk.
Yep, because you have this software on your computer that you have to give your private key. And so if they wanted to be malicious, they technically could.
Yeah.
By putting some kind of malware on your bot software that you download.
Yeah.
And so it's a risk. Another way you can go but it's also risk is by staking your heroes in X earn, which I think is totally legit too and everything. But I think you can always just go in there and unstake them. But it's like you connect your MetaMask wallet just like you do to DeFi Kingdoms. It's pretty similar. It's kind of like when you send your heroes on a quest, it's like staked within DeFi Kingdoms during that quest. Well, it's kind of like you do the same thing with XEarn, and they're basically questing your heroes for you, and then like on a bot, and then they give you 75% of the rewards, I think is how that works.
I also don't have over 1,000 heroes like you do.
I know.
So I only keep what I want. I bought this Dread Knight off of the market about a month ago, and he was level 1.
Really?
And I've just been stampotting the crap out of him because I want to get him to level 20 for duels. But even at level 9 right now, this Dread Knight is a chonker, dude. Like, he's been killing it in the duels.
Ooh, you've been dueling. Look at you.
Oh yeah.
You went in there and bought that. I don't even have a legendary dread or a mythic dread.
Really?
I still don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. I was like, dude, the Dread Knight is the best hero in the game. I'm gonna own a Dread Knight. And
Mhm.
so I went in there and I looked at the stats of these things and I picked this one out. It definitely wasn't the cheapest, but it wasn't the most expensive either. But I said, I want to have one. And that's, I mean, it might be foolish to spend that much money on a hero, but it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, if you're gonna be in DFK, you got to have a Dread Knight. You got to have one.
Right, baby. I love it.
So
I love it. Man. Okay, a lot of good comments. So you have two of the a little bit more rare Gen Zeros, I think. The Wizard and Priest aren't as common anymore to buy
really,
Gen Zero wise. Like you look at the Tavern,
let's see.
there's not a ton of them in there.
Really,
Mhm.
is it because people are trying to scoop them up for summoners?
Well, I think maybe. I think a lot of the Gen Zeros are like lost or still over there on Serendale 1.0 on Harmony, believe it or not. Not
Oh,
doing anything. Just sitting there. It's like, I want to say there's something over 60,000 heroes are still there.
wow.
And so just a lot of people fell asleep on the game and just kind of, but even with their Gen Zeros, right?
Yeah.
And so Gen Zeros have held their value really well compared to a lot of the other assets within DeFi Kingdoms. And then, so a lot of times, see, my goal is always to find the right pairs with where the abilities line up. Those ability gene traits. Have you ever looked into that at all?
Yes, like you're talking about all of the genes from their yeah, like let's here I
Active
can,
one, active two, passive one, passive two. Yeah. When you
yeah,
go to, yes, that one right there.
yeah.
Blinding Winds, Death Mark.
Let's
And
see.
if you put your mouse over them, it tells you if it's basic one, basic two, basic. You got a basic 2 for Blinding Winds, and that's a basic 8.
Yeah,
So you need a 7 on the other active 2.
a basic one.
So 1 and 2 line up, 3 and 4 line up, 5 and 6 line up, 7 and 8 line up. So 2 and 3 do not line up. Only 1 and 2, and only 3 and 4. And then if you've got the same chances of hitting an advanced class, 14.06% chance, okay, on those abilities. So it's like it opens up a whole new world of summoning. You go from not just looking at the class, but you look for those abilities to line up.
Dang.
Okay. And so it's very hard to find heroes that line up. Now,
You know what? Let's do some summons. Fuck it.
too.
If people want to do some summons, we can definitely do that. I don't really have like the best heroes for summons, but this one that's, I mean, for my Gen Zeros that's up in 30 minutes, we can definitely do that. But let's, I mean, we could do a dark summon on some of my crappier heroes.
Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah.
Ooh, baby.
Let's do it.
Doug Hype is in the house.
All right.
We can get this man in. So do you have a pair kind of set up?
I don't yet, but we could definitely. Oh wait, I have a. Wait, okay.
Have you ever used the tool Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms?
I have not.
Oh, really? Okay. They have a free version and a paid version. The paid version isn't anything too crazy. But so what it helps you do is find the heroes within your wallet, or it's also for rent in the tavern or for sale in the tavern, that you can put in whatever specifications, and it helps you find if the abilities line up. That's part of what it does.
Okay, let's do it. Let's pull it up.
And I've got kind of a short video on it, but I can show you here. I'll go ahead. You leave your screen right there, right? You can keep it right there, and then so for one, on this wallet, I've got a lot of Gen Zeros, and I just bought a new pair. Okay, so
nice
with this thief, which is 207. So there's also a free part of that website, Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms. So the paid part, you can look at the market data, you can do a whole bunch of different things. But on the free part, it's still like the main go-to site. You can put in your hero ID. So we got 207. Okay. And this is the thief, and it kind of shows you everything. The gen, the summons, okay? And it shows you, it gives you a lot of different things. All your stat growth, the profession, this guy's already, he's 21 fishing, total stat points. It even gives you the RNG stat gain per level, okay? And then it tells you the recessives also.
So this is like a small possibility of what you could summon into.
Yeah, so this is a thief, and the subclass is a berserker, but the recessive 1 is a monk, recessive 2 is a pirate, and recessive 3 is a knight. So every time you summon, or every time you summon, basically what happens here is that this knight and recessive 3 has a 20% chance to move on to recessive 2 during the summon.
Okay.
And then there's this recessive 2. This recessive 2, whether or not it was the knight or the pirate that won that, the pirate has an 80% chance. Okay. Whoever wins that, then this recessive 2 then has a 20% chance to move to recessive 1. So then the monk, in that scenario, is going to have an 80% chance, and between these two have a 20% chance. Then the same thing happens again. Okay. There's a 20% chance for this monk to win that and become the dominant that you're actually summoning with, could potentially be a monk. And that happens on both sides. Okay.
Okay.
And then let's get this other. I just bought this Gen Zero from Tosh. So check this out. I just bought.
Dude, you have a ton of Gen Zeros. Do you know how many you have?
I've got 19.
Dang, dude.
And I want to sell.
So you're the guy I was talking about.
Yeah, right. I want to sell 3 of them. Okay, I've actually moved him back to the DFK chain. I just summoned him earlier today. Okay, I just summoned this pair. Okay, this archer. So this is like the only pair that anybody knows of that's a double mythic Gen Zero pair that has at least 2 abilities that line up. So this is what opens up a whole new world. So over here on this tool, first I put in, you just go to hero data, and this is free. Anybody can use this, and it tells you the price, the correct prices here of these coins also, which is nice. So look, Crystal's down to 5 cents, and Jade is down to 3.5 cents. So like, whoa. But you put in the number here, and it gives you all the details on that hero. Gives you the details also of the abilities here. Okay. But then when you put in your other hero number, enter another to compare, and you hit compare, look what it does. When you scroll down, it does the same, gives you all the details on both. Then you keep scrolling down, and you want to see mustard. That's what the Mythic Squad, who's in the house, baby. That's where the magic happens right there. Mythic Squad. You want to see mustard. That's where there's mutations that can happen. And as we know, a thief and an archer can make a Dark Knight. And
okay.
Okay. And then as you scroll down, you hit summoning chances. Orange means mutation possible. And so in this case, it's a 14.06% chance to hit a Dark Knight. Now, if the thief, when we call it a pure thief, okay, that's when the recessives, see, a lot of times I've got some Gen Zero heroes that have pure recessives. So when we're looking at these heroes, this is a thief, monk, pirate, knight. if you get a thief and then in the recessive one get another thief, it increases your chances for a mutation. And on this side, if this archer had another archer in the recessives, same story. Okay. So the base, but they don't. These don't. There's no extra. This is your base chances to mutate. 14.06% chance. Okay. But if there is any purity within that, like archer in any of those recessives or thief in any of those recessives, like if they were both recessive one, I do have a pair. It's a thief, recessive one, thief, which we call a pure thief, and then an archer. That would mean it's a 22% chance to hit a Dark Knight.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's a big difference. Okay. And that's why there's all these other chances here. And so there's no mutation possible in the subclass because none of the heroes or even the recessives line up at all. So there's no chances for a mutation in the subclass. But here in the active one ability, critical aim is basic 7. Then you got basic 8. They line up, but just the base chances. There's no purity there. But there is this little tiny chance here for exhaust to hit. And this is where Wowee goes over all these abilities. Okay. Wowee, who was in the chat earlier. Then here on the active 2, that one didn't mutate, but you got a little chance going on for exhaust and hardened shield. Tiny, we call it Mosh odds. Mosh, who's in the chat, he hits on those. Then this is a pretty good non-mutation chance for this efficient, 4.39%. That probably means that the two recessive ones line up. So that's why this is here.
Okay, let's check out my 2 heroes then that I'm going to be summoning with. 84 and 2082.
Okay. What is that again?
84.
84.
And 2082.
Okay. Take a look. It's hard to find these pairs. So I think what's going to happen is that eventually we'll be able to sell these Gen Zeros in pairs. Looks like you used a greater attunement crystal. Good move right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you got wizard, nothing else. And then, hey, oh, okay. Never mind. Okay. Priest. Okay. And then wizard. You do have a little chance to hit a summoner in the subclass there because both your recessive ones line up. Interesting. Okay. Hey, you do have one ability that lines up. It's good to see any, especially when you weren't even trying.
Yeah.
When you hit even on 1 is awesome.
Really?
Hitting on 2 is pretty ideal. So you've got in the subclass a 0.88% chance for a paladin, 0.88% chance for a summoner. That's because you had those little chances in the recessives. Okay. And look at this. Oh, dude, this is pretty good, actually. So first, in your active 1, you still have a 4.3% chance for exhaust to hit. And then you have a 7% chance just based off from your recessives to hit on active 2. That's pretty good.
Awesome.
And then on your ones that line up, it's only 14.06, but you still have this extra almost 1%. So you almost have a 15% chance to hit either efficient in your passive or toxic. And then you've got a little Mashad's chance. That's actually a pretty decent pair, man, I would say.
Awesome. So
Yeah,
I could potentially get the summoner.
Yep.
14, I think it was 14% on the
Yep.
summoner.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I've got these genetic pairings that could be good for the passives.
That's right. So, and these passive abilities, believe it or not, are actually better in many cases, they have, so a passive ability, there's no difference between 1 and 2, and there's no difference between 1 and 2 actives. They're just the actives. It requires you to use a skill. It's like using a move in a round.
Okay.
Okay, which all the heroes have their own set of skills based
Right.
off. So like the priest, you know, subclass priest, you actually, by the time you hit either level 45 or level 55, we're not totally sure yet, you'll actually be able to activate this monster skill. Okay, it'll be huge. But that's way down the road. You won't be able to yet, but you'll be able to have skills based off your leveling, okay, and what level you are, that you can use for combat. Then in addition to those hero specific skills and subclass specific skills, you can also, you have your active 1 and active 2, which is like 2 more skills you throw in that mix, essentially.
So do you have to go through manually and check every single one of your heroes then to see if they're a good pair?
That's a good question, baby. That's why I get the paid version of Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms, where it will search both all your wallets for you if you want. It'll search the tavern rentals and for sales on what lines up. And so if for the gurus in this chat, like we've got a bunch, baby, let's go.
How much does it cost?
Okay, you can try it out. I think they give you a little bit of time free. Are you still here, Raph? I'm giving you a shout out, Raph. Okay, so you come to the account. So I will send you the website right now.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna come. If you check, you have the public comments that you can see, right? And then you also have the private chat from StreamYard.
Okay.
I just sent you the website.
Got it.
You set up an account in the upper right-hand corner where it says account. Okay.
Sign up.
Yes. And then you kind of, it's pretty quick to sign up. And I think they give you like a few days free, but you can spend as little as 10 jade, 10 crystal, or 10 jewel. And that doesn't give you a ton, but it'll give you, so after you've had your free time, you know, you get to use it for free.
A user is already registered.
Oh, you must already be registered with them.
The heck?
Yeah, they've been around for a while.
Yeah, I must already be registered.
Yeah. So then you can come here and hit, and you could put in, you will get some free days, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Then on top of that, you can hit calculate after those free days. 10 crystal, which is about 52 cents, gives you almost a day that you can use it. Okay. Now, the more you put in, it exponentially goes up.
Okay.
So 1,000 crystal, for example, that's $52. That gets you 4.3 months. If you did 5,000 crystal, which equals $260, that gives you 175 months, right? So you don't want to do that. It goes up like exponentially your time. So 2,000 crystal, which is $100, gives you about 15 months. So a while back, I think I put in $100 or something worth at the time. At the time, I had tried it out, I think, with 30 jewel, and then I put in 300 jewel or something. I want to say I did. Actually, I might have done this 30 jewel. That might have been about $100 worth.
Dude, there is so much to like look at here.
Right. So it does so many other things. So check this out. You have, first you can set up on the paid version, There's so much it does. You can set up tavern alerts with any search criteria you want. So if any specific type of hero hits a tavern, you get notified in Discord. Okay. Then the hero data part, that's what's free. That's what I was just using. Hero matching, that's where you can go in where it searches your wallet or the tavern, or it searches any wallet you want to put in. So if you want to search your buddy's wallet for a good pair, you can do that. It's got DFK Fight Club. Have you ever played this game? DFK Fight Club.
Oh, was that before duels came out?
It's been out for a little while.
I think I have then.
Esport level super fun game.
That's probably why I have an account actually.
Oh. So you can get Fight Club Alpha from this. Oh, there's DFK blogs now. That's new. This Combat Corner is new also. And then the tavern data, the market data is where I live. Okay.
Okay.
A lot of that I still haven't even looked at, actually. But right now, I think the DFK items, this is where I live the most. So the two main things I use this for, oh, it is working. You can look at the arbitrage opportunities.
Okay.
And there used to be a lot, but then I started revealing, telling everybody different arbitrage opportunities, and now people are so much more on it. But it'll tell you the difference in price. The actual price of one milkweed is it's like 25% of 1 penny, 0.0024 USD. But then you can look at it between the realms. So let's say I want to hatch some eggs and I want to buy some gold, because this happens sometimes where it's like, okay, where's the better spot to buy gold? Should I buy it on Crystalvale or Sarandale? And then, okay, when you scroll all the way to the side here on some of these items, like right here, when you see anything in green, what that means is you want to buy from the DEX, from the trader, and then sell it with the vendor. And then you can literally arbitrage that down. So I've seen this before in the green at like 30%. And so I would buy a bunch of like bloater fish or whatever in the green 30%. It means someone just dumped a ton of bloater fish. Now I can buy up a bunch of bloater fish, go sell those in the vendor for gold, and sell the gold and end up with 30% more money.
Wow.
When it's in red, you don't want to sell with the vendor. That means you want to sell with the trader.
So this is basically like what I used to do on World of Warcraft back in the day.
There you go.
There were certain things that you could craft, and like you buy mats off of the auction house, right? And then you craft it because it's cheap, but then you go and sell what you've crafted to the vendor and actually make money doing so.
Yeah.
It's an arbitrage opportunity in the same exact way.
Yes, right. And so, like, especially right now, Swift Thistle, if you go to the vendor to sell your Swift Thistle, you get 75 gold per Swift Thistle. And gold isn't worth anything right now because there's not a ton of utility for it yet. But I think a lot more is coming.
Right.
But if you go sell it on the trader, it's worth almost 11 cents right now per Swift Thistle.
Wow.
So that's like a massive difference.
Yeah.
So you're only getting 2.5% of the value for that Swift Thistle if you sell it in the vendor. See, I didn't know these things. I didn't even know that was possible. So right now, Swift Thistle, we got, what's this one? Oh, Sailfish has gone way up. I didn't realize that. Okay. We've got here at 75% is bloater fish. So you want to sell your bloater fish big time in Crystalvale. So if you know what, man, that does, with the sailfish being so way up and the bloater fish, and right now the Swift Thistle's way up. Maybe we should be questing over there on Sarandale 2.0 on Klaytn.
Really?
Yes, because the Swift Thistle alone kind of makes the foragers worth it, even though I recently finally moved my foragers off, but it's come back up now. I think a lot of people did. A lot of people moved their foragers off. So now Swift Thistle's back up to almost 11 cents. That's wild. Okay. And then sailfish, though, I've never seen sailfish quite this high. Sailfish is it just still a penny, though. It's a big difference. So probably still not worth having your fishers over there. But the bloater fish is way up. Look at that. Huh. And milkweed has come way down, but it's still way better to sell your milkweed. Always sell your, even, whoa, look at some of this. Milkweed is up again today, but still nothing compared to where it used to be. Okay. So that is why this tool, Adventures in DFK, you can also, in the market data page, they have a few, you can look at the alchemy receipts and the carving receipts, right? For stones, summoning stones. The carving receipts section on summoning stones, it breaks down the cost to craft the stone and the items, the total cost. It breaks it all down. To craft right now a mite stone is 4.7 joule. But to buy a mite stone is 5 joule. So you're cheaper to craft it than to buy it. Now, that's because the stone carver's out right now, but the stone carver comes and goes.
I'm a little confused, though.
Okay.
I typed in a hero ID, and it's not pulling up the right hero.
Let me show you what's going on here. Okay. So I'm guessing this hero was possibly summoned on Crystalvale.
Yeah.
If it's a Crystalvale hero, okay, when there is 6 digits, you have to add in front of the hero. This is so crazy. It's really annoying. You have to add in front the number 1, and then you have to add 5 zeros. Now, let's say that hero was number 49,000 instead of in the hundreds of thousands. It would be 6 zeros.
It didn't pull up.
Oh, okay. Take away 1, or wait, is maybe add a 0 or take away is, I want to say add.
Add 1 more 0?
Yeah, go ahead and add and now try it.
Okay. There we go. That's it.
Okay. So it's 6 zeros. It's the number 1 and 6 zeros when it's over 100,000. It's the number 1 and 7 zeros when it's below 10,000. And if it's below 1,000, then it's 8 zeros. Below 100, 9 zeros.
This is telling me to summon using this pair. These are 2 Gen 1s that I have.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why it's telling me to summon using these 2.
Oh, it's an archer and priest?
Yeah.
Oh, were you only...
Did I do this wrong?
What do you mean it's telling you to?
Like, so...
Okay.
I put up here...
Okay.
Oh, did I put... Do I have to add it here, those numbers here?
You do, everywhere.
1... So it was 6 zeros.
It was 6 zeros. And then same thing for all the Serendale 2.0 heroes, except it's a 2 is the first digit, and then 6, 7, or 8, or 9 zeros, depending on the hero. Yeah.
Okay, so now it's saying... Wait, it's still telling me the same... Isn't that the same guy?
Yeah.
It's still saying to use that.
Okay, hit view right above.
Yeah.
Okay. You did that again. Okay, and then scroll back up a little bit. Scroll back up.
Okay.
Let's look at your settings here. Keep going.
I didn't mess with any of these.
Okay, keep going, keep going. Keep going all the way up. Okay. So are you trying to find heroes within your wallet?
Yeah.
Okay. And you've got your wallet in there. All right, perfect. And then, okay. So now scroll back down. And this is just showing all the heroes in your wallet, period.
Oh, this isn't showing in order, like which ones work the best?
No, that's where you have to do your presets. Okay, but when you look at the right-hand side there all the way over, that's your ability summary. But if you're trying to find, you probably want to find a wizard to pair with that priest, right?
Yeah. Do I have a wizard though? Oh, I do. I got a couple.
Okay. And then if any of those abilities are mustered on the far right-hand side.
Nothing.
Okay.
So that wouldn't be a good.
Yeah. So in the setting part, you'd want to just search for a wizard.
Okay.
You can click none and then click wizard because they're all checked.
Okay. Deselect then.
Yeah.
We've got 5 minutes until I can summon these Gen Zeros.
Oh, baby.
And I'm just going to throw it out here. If I don't get a summoner or anything over a rare, I'm going to give it away.
Oh,
how about that? How about that?
Did we, for all of those who have endured this long session, baby, we're over 2 hours. I love it.
We're going to give away a Gen 1.
Unless it's a mythic or legendary.
Or a summoner. Because like I've been trying to get a summoner from this pair for so long, and I haven't gotten it.
So if it's a rare or below basic hero, you're going to just give it away.
Yep.
Okay.
It's going to...
Let's go.
It should be a 10 out of 10 Gen 1.
Yes. That's exactly what it will be. Okay.
And you know what? I'll even add on to that. If it is a summoner or it's a legendary or mythic, I'll give away one of my previous summons that was a Gen 1.
Baby.
So how about this priest wizard over here? This Gen 1.
Okay, you're gonna give away that rare priest.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If I get what I've been trying to get, then I'll give away this Gen 1 priest.
Skiller.
you hope I don't hit it.
But you hope you don't hit it.
Come on, man. I've been trying for so long. I bought these.
But here's the thing. If he does hit a legendary or mythic, you're guaranteed a rare. So you are actually rooting for him to hit because, hey, you might get stuck with a common or an uncommon when you can get a rare priest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baby. So isn't it cool on the back of the card when you flip that rare priest over real quick and you hit that middle button there beside, isn't that cool how it shows all that now?
Yeah.
See, if it was advanced, it would be in green. And if it's an elite ability, which are very hard to get, it's like getting a dragoon, a sage, or a spellbow. Okay. When you do that, it's in blue. That's an elite ability. And then if you get an exalted ability, that's like same chances as hitting a Dread Knight. And there's not a whole lot of exalted abilities in the game. There's like a few hundred total in the game. There used to be for a long time less than 100. But now a lot of people have been guys like Be Easy and Skiller and these guys in here. Yeah, it's a great deal either way. Mythic vibes. Yes. So there's now some people that have multiple exalted abilities.
That's awesome.
There's one guy, Cool, has 3 exalted abilities.
Golly.
So the exalted abilities I was explaining this earlier. A passive ability happens on its own. You don't have to use a skill. So like Toxic, for example, that's your biggest chance on your 2 Gen Zeros to hit Toxic.
Yeah.
What that means is on every single hit during combat, like if it's an archer, every time that archer shoots an arrow and hits, he has a chance to inflict 2% poison on that hero. And that just happens on its own on every single move that that archer does. If you hit an archer with Toxic, for example. And so the two exalted abilities, one of them is if you die, it's called Resurrection. It's either Resurrection or Second Life or something, I think.
So it's like a battle res?
If you die, you're resurrected again with 50% health.
Dude, so that's like a battle res in WoW.
Yeah. And so cool.
That's
has
pretty cool.
2 of those.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then he has another one. He's got the other one is if one of your other teammates dies, you can resurrect them. Those are the 2 exalted abilities on the tree.
That's awesome.
So
that would be, dude.
Yeah.
So you've tried the combat system already.
Yes.
That would be amazing to have on like the priest slot, your healer.
Yep. That's right. That's right. Now, those abilities, you can see the slots for those abilities in the current combat system, but they're not live yet. He hasn't worked those in. So, but I bet one of these days we're going to go in there and see that they are. Baby.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to use those automatically. They'll be there. Where
That's
we can
awesome.
Either the passive ones, they happen on their own. The active ones, it's like another skill in your skill tree, sort of. So
dude, we got like 10 seconds.
Oh, let's go.
We got 2 seconds. All right. So all right.
Baby.
All right, let's do this. All right, we're gonna go with all the Gaia's tiers.
Yeah.
We're gonna add.
Ooh.
We're gonna add a lesser insight stone.
Let's go. Here we go.
All right, so.
I was gonna say if you didn't have a stone, I could send you one real quick, but
oh no, let's do this.
Let's go.
I got this. I got this.
Baby.
All right.
All right.
What are we getting, guys? What are we getting?
I'm getting a refill.
Nice.
That's what I'm getting. I'll be back in T-minus. I'll be back before that thing goes live. I can still hear you. Yeah. Let's go.
Mythic Summoner. That would be amazing. That would be Rare Summoner. Yo, I would be happy with a Rare Summoner. I would be happy with an uncommon summoner at this point. I just want a summoner from these 2 Gen Zeros that I purchased.
So the summoner just never hits?
It never hits, man.
Dang. Huh. Let's go. Mythic vibes. Mythic vibes right here. Sir Jules Staker.
You guys have gotten to watch the sun go down on my stream.
Let's go. Here we go. Let's go, baby.
Dude, these transactions, when it comes to summoning, it feels like these transactions take an eternity.
Well, and live streaming, the software puts a toll on it too.
Yeah.
So it's actually working pretty well. Okay, dang it. You hit an archer. Common archer. Okay.
Common archer.
Let's see if an ability hits.
Aegean Luck? What?
There we go. It's a gardener.
Yeah.
That's okay, though.
Yeah.
That's okay. Hit the middle button there. Okay.
Nothing.
Didn't hit, but it's all good. It'd be green. Okay. Well, that bad boy is being given away.
That is. Who wants a Gen 1 archer?
Uh-huh. Let's go.
10 out of
Okay,
10.
I've got a trivia question.
Dope.
I've got it. I've got it. All right. Are you guys ready? Are we ready? Whoever answers this first. Okay.
That's crazy. So Agi is its
Yeah.
primary growth, but Dex is its high. Dude, that's actually pretty decent for an archer.
Uh-huh.
In the current combat, you
Yep.
could level this bad boy up.
Yes. I love gardeners, by the way, because
I do
found
too.
that vitality every time. Because, you know, the gardening quest, a part of the quest outcome for the bonus outcome for getting more stuff as you level, for gardeners, you know, it's vitality and wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why I love gardeners, because vitality is what helps you gain your HP, your
Right.
health. Yes, you know this. And I like wisdom because it helps you gain your mana as well.
So and I use the lesser stone for that wisdom,
Yes.
in case I get the summoner. But
Hey,
also, if it's a wizard or a priest,
right.
they both use wisdom as well.
But guess why that's really good on this card specifically? Look at that subclass. What is the subclass, baby?
Wizard.
So now flip it back around and hit the arrow. Okay, look at the wisdom growth on the subclass.
Yeah, 25%. That's
5%.
big ones. 25% big ones.
Yes. Okay. Are we ready for this trivia question? Whoever answers it first. Are we ready? Boys and girls. Boys and girls. Okay. What is the percentage chance of an archer to level up wisdom? Go. What is that percentage chance to hit on wisdom? Every time the base end game chance, not for this card.
Yeah.
Because you know why?
Gotta.
This card say. This card isn't going to be accurate.
Nope.
Okay. Looks like Skiller. Did Skiller get it? 25%. Is that who you see first? I see 25%.
Yep.
In your card, though, it says 30%.
Right.
That's right.
But that's because I used that stone, right?
Stone. That's right. I think Skiller's the winner.
Yeah.
He was number 2 on the last one. He deserves this.
Yeah.
Sergeant. Okay. Let's go. Skiller.
Send
I'll get it to you. Yeah, Skiller, you can send it to me. I mean, if you guys are already friends, Skiller is like totally hardcore in this game. I love it.
No, dude, Skiller, send your OX to Grady, and Grady will send it to me, and you'll have this hero within the next 24 hours.
Yes. Do it.
It's yours, man.
And Sir Jewel Staker, I'm going to send you the whitelist giveaway spot, and then you can go. Anyone who has a whitelist, you can actually go into the Dragons Crossing Discord, okay, and add that whitelist, and then it even reflects in your name. So in the Discord, I'm going to pull it up here.
He just said give it to RK3.
Oh, really?
RK3, it's yours if you want it, man.
RK3 was second, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really?
You want to give it to RK3?
Yeah. Hey, if that's what Skiller wants us to do.
Yeah, Skiller, is that your final decision? You want to give it up to RK3?
Wow. Who's excited for Genesis Heroes? That's right. So if you've got a whitelist spot, I send you a code. You take that code, you can put it in the Discord at Dragons Crossing. Okay. And I'm not even exactly sure how that works, but everybody always figures it out. Brown Gent. I think you can just go and ask. Okay, and I'll share my screen. We can look for it.
Yeah.
Sir Jewel Staker, I'll show you. So, and then on the right hand side, you see Sage, and then you see Whitelist. You're in purple. Like Be Easy, Bob Nothing, Crypto Baby H. All these folks. I love it. Sir Worm, Styx.
Oh yeah, those are the whitelisters.
Yes, Noonie. And a lot of these
Cool.
guys are in this chat right now.
Something that I want to point out, though, that we didn't talk about is scroll up to the sages.
Oh, yeah.
Look at these people that, like, there aren't that many online right now, but like, if you look at some of these people that backed this game being developed,
Yes.
the sages. So if you go in there into the Discord server and you see sages,
There you are.
these are the people that Seed invested into this project to make it happen. And there are some really big names on that list of sages. So I encourage you to go and look at those. Inertia is a guy that's been building decentralized applications for years now in the blockchain industry.
Really?
Awesome dude. Flu, you all know who Flu is.
Yeah.
Johnny, people that have developed other games are some of the sages. Like, there are a lot of really important people in the blockchain industry that are on this list. And if that doesn't tell you of things to come with this project, I don't know what will.
Yeah, man. So I'm so bullish on this team. And so a lot of the pushback I've heard from a lot of the different people in the community, they just haven't wrapped their mind around the game yet. But I think the game's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to show everybody, get on here and dive into the game conceptually, so people start getting it, wrap their mind around it. I think it's going to be really fun. It's going to be like you're going to have to decide every day, okay, if I keep going, I can kill more monsters and be further ahead in the contest and get more items as well. Or because maybe you've already picked up a shard or two with your Genesis hero. You can only get a shard with your Genesis hero.
Yep. By playing the game.
By playing the game. That's right. Yeah. And so maybe you've picked up a couple shards, but you still have some health. You want to keep going because you want to compete in the game, right? But if you go too long, you're going to die.
Yeah. The goal of the game is to not die. Remember that, folks.
That's right. But you also want to go and battle enough monsters and stuff to actually compete in the contests. That's a big part of it. And get more stuff too. Because you can only do it. There's only a certain number of quests you can do per day. And using items such as armor or weapons, it'll take away some of those quest numbers as well.
Yeah.
So that's part of the debate as well.
Yeah.
And then there's more strategy that comes in.
Dude, it's such a strategy intensive game, and I can't wait to play it. I really can't. Like, I'm so pumped for this hero mint, like the Gen Zero hero mint. I think all the sages, like, just being completely transparent, I think all the sages get a free Gen Zero hero mint. And then we also get one slot for the cheaper mint as well for the Gen Zeros. Yes. So I am so pumped. I'm probably going to be picking up a couple of Gen Zeros in this because I want to be able to get the classes that I want, and I want to do it early because I have a feeling that this is going to mint out very quickly.
I do too. So I don't get a whitelist spot. I'm not going to be able to get a whitelist spot. So I'm going to be buying some of those Gen Zeros, so some of those Genesis heroes. Let's go. I think Doug might be coming on for just a hot minute, because I think we're about to wrap up.
Yeah, I actually have to get going. It's past my bedtime.
Yes.
I go to bed super early. I am.
See, I'm a late nighter. We're just getting started here. Baby.
Oh man. No, I go to bed very early and wake up early.
Yes, that's smart. So
RK3, message Grady with your OX address. and Grady will get it to me, and I will send you that Gen 1, man.
I love it, man. I
All
love
right.
it.
Yo, I appreciate you having me on tonight. I really do.
Yep.
This
And
was a lot of fun.
I'm going to send you over those whitelist spots to give away right now. So you'll have those. And any help you need, anything you want to do, any way you want to help promote a giveaway for your channel, let's go. Pumped for Dragon's Crossing. I'm pumped for what's coming with DeFi Kingdoms. So much coming. This TV show, I think, is going to be big. I'm hoping DeFi Kingdoms is going to be on the show, baby. Also, all this development happening all over the place. The devs are developing. Third-party devs are awesome in these ecosystems. I'm pumped for everything happening. Web3. Let's go. Crypto Clay and Crypto Grady out. Love you guys. Baby.